Listen, your whole reality can shift within 30 seconds. Because if you think about it, life is only 1 second at a time. So you want to begin to tell a story you want to live. Right now, you're telling a story. You're telling stories about yourself, about your life, about your work, about the environment, about the politics, about your friends. Each story is manifesting. Whatever you tell the story to the universe mirrors it back. That's what creates your reality. The story you keep telling internally, and then what you say is just a reflection of what you're thinking, your inner conversation. So if you want to change your life within 3 days, it's so easy. You have to commit to tell a new story internally. You want to taper your inner conversation to match your desired life. Now, if you have a lot of resistance, this might take a little bit of time for you to start telling the story as you want it to be, as if your desired life already exists. You just start to think thoughts that say, I already am living in that reality. Because what's happening is you're telling stories, and that's what's manifesting. So the story right now that you're telling is the story that you don't want to live. So you want to switch this around to live the life that you want to live. Each second is a precious second for you to create the life exactly as you want it to be, because you're a powerful creator and you're always manifesting. You cannot turn this off. That is why once you know that you create your reality, you no longer feel comfortable. You feel negative emotion unless you go with your desired. Once you hatch a desire, you can no longer feel comfortable unless you allow yourself to go with that desire. So, the simplest way, I'm going to share with you 3 tips how you can live the best life and change your life very fast. This works almost immediately as soon as you begin to go downstream. So, usually, when you're telling the story that you don't want, you feel negative emotion. So, you want to ask yourself this one important question: what is a downstream thought? Once you ask this question, your mind will give you answers to downstream thoughts. This can be for any subject in your life. Of course, you can do it for money, you can do it for health, you can do it for relationships. It doesn't matter what the subject is, but you might be having a lot of upstream thoughts. So you feel uncomfortable, or you might feel in the vortex high energy, and then also outside the vortex low energy, where you can't stand anything or anyone. So to change this very quickly is to ask yourself the question: what is a downstream thought? A downstream thought for money, let's say, can be, I always allow money into my life. I've been doing this all the time. Then for health, you can ask, what's a downstream thought? Let's say you have been identifying as someone who is sick. I'm sick. I don't feel well. I'm tired. This hurts. I got this. I got this diagnosis. They said this. I'm doing this. So you want to find a downstream thought. And then what's a downstream thought? Your mind will tell you. It depends where you are. But for example, the downstream thought will be, one day I can be healthy. Some people are always healthy. I've been healthy before. Health is well-being. There's only well-being. Well-being is everywhere. Well-being is knocking on my door. Well-being is the basis of all life. Look at the planet, look at the planets, look at the galaxies, look at the universe. Everything is run through well-being. So it's easy to hook into that. Your vortex, your inner being have already become what you desire. So with downstream thoughts, you go and you meet your inner being. Instead of going upstream, you go downstream with every single subject. You can go downstream at work, you can go downstream with your partner, you can go downstream with your children, with yourself, with your body size, with every single situation. And this brings me to a very important point where you become so free that you can be in every environment. You no longer are afraid that these people are going to take you out of the vortex, or this is going to just like put you out of alignment. You can just go downstream everywhere you are, and then you can be in every environment, because even if you work yourself up, you can say, what's a downstream thought? And you go downstream. It's so beautiful, because once you start going downstream with every subject in your life will improve drastically. You will see drastic signs and different experiences coming into your life. You become very powerful attractor, which is who you really are already. Right? You're an amazing attractor. You're an amazing creator. You have inner being, your source energy. You're good. You deserve good. You can have all your desires, because you are the creator of your desires together with your inner being. And then all you have to do is go downstream, allow those desires to manifest into your life. My trick number 2. These are all based on Abraham's teachings. Of course, I'm their biggest fan. And I love these teachings because I have transformed every area of my life. Not that before I didn't have a good life. I've always had a good life. I have amazing parents, amazing brothers. I have an amazing family, cousins, aunts, uncles, my grandparents who are non-physical, and I still am in touch with them. So, but I became a deliberate creator. I did not wait for things to just haphazardly happen. Just I can create exactly what I want. I get in the vortex and I tell the stories that I want to live. So, trick number 2 is make feeling good your number 1 goal. You want to make more money? Make feeling good your priority. You want to feel healthy? Make feeling good your priority. You want to thrive? Make feeling good your priority. You know what happens once you set that goal for yourself and you make it a priority? Nothing can stop you, because once you're happy, it just means you're in alignment with who you really are, which is source energy and your inner being. Your inner being is constantly calling you. Your inner being has become all you desire. So you just match your inner being. Now, making feeling good a priority really sets you up, because you can no longer tolerate things that make you feel bad. You make it that, oh, I feel negative emotion. I gotta go do something else. I need to think something else. I need to let the conditions be, and I need to go within and find those feelings unconditionally, because feelings are unconditional. You can feel happy, you can feel joyful, you can feel free. Internally, in your inner conversation, you just start to look for feelings that feel good. Ease feels like flow. Flow feels like love. Love feels like joy. Joy feels like happiness. Happiness feels like flow and allowing. Allowing feels like going downstream. Going downstream feels like giddy and joyful. So you activate emotions. If you're not able to do that, you can look into your environment. What do I love here? I love the colors of the flowers. I love driving this car. I love that people are here. I love that there's other people that want to live life. And I love that everybody's source. I love those trees and I love those colors of the trees and the leaves. So you make feeling good a priority and you no longer push, you no longer take action, which is very important, not to take action in negative emotion, because when you take action in negative emotion, it just backfires. You want to take action in positive emotion. So you have to become a master at feeling good. So this way you master feeling good, you master getting in the vortex, you wake up, look for things you love, go to sleep, visualize your beautiful life, what you want to bring into your life. And then your life will just begin to be supremely amazing and things start to fall into your lap. I promise you, if you do this, you will become really unstoppable. Which brings me to step number 3 or trick number 3 or whatever, to live a beautiful life and to manifest it now. You have the power of inner conversation. You have to taper your inner conversation to match your desires. So you want to think as if you already have the desire. It feels so good. I really appreciate having $1 million. I really appreciate having a beautiful business. I really appreciate living this life. You're not manifesting from lack. You're manifesting your inner conversation from already having it, which is a match to your inner being. And you want to have that conversation in a way that is like, yeah, of course, I have this. You walk around your reality with the mindset that you already have this. And then to practice, you either think thoughts or you write thoughts that say, this is my reality. This is what I'm living. This is how it is. And you no longer look for that to be in your conditions. You do that internally first, and then the conditions change. You don't change the conditions and then live it internally. First internally, then your reality will shift very quickly. Another trick is to visualize the life you want to live. You start visualizing what you want to live. Before bed, visualize what you want to live. Not as someone over there, sometime later, living that life. No, you are right now with this body into that reality. So, because you can think differently, you can imagine differently with your eyes open, right? I can be creating this video, and in my mind, I can think about a fruit or a pear or a ball or a Ferrari. So you want to make this reality right now with your visualization being in the now, you being in that reality right now. So you want to bridge those two together and you want to make your mind familiar with that reality because you're already doing this. You're having an inner conversation about where you're living right now and you're visualizing where you're living right now as if it's true. So you want to do the same thing. Because right now, if I ask you, who are you? How are you? What's your bank account? You will imagine the the scenario, who you are, what's in your bank account, what you do, right? It's all happening in your inner conversation and your visualization. So this way we're taking care of our emotions unconditionally, and then we're using our inner conversation and our visualization to create the life we love. And this way, your life will just start to quickly shift because you are source energy. Everything is energy, and energy moves fast. Once you change your mind, your reality has to shift. There's no way around it. And this happens so quickly. So be ready. You know what to do. Keep yourself happy. You take care of your inner conversation, make feeling good a priority, and visualize before going to sleep. And when you wake up, your desire as if you're living it right now. Visualize it with your eyes open. Think that you can practice this. So you know you visualize you already have a car waiting for you in the morning. Then while you walk to your car, start visualizing having your dream car because you will see that it's the same process. You know your car is outside. You know how it looks like. You know how it feels like. You imagine it in your mind. So you want to start imagining your dream car in your mind with your eyes closed and with your eyes open because it's the same thing. What you're doing for what is and what you're going to do for what you desire, it's exactly the same process. It's not something different because you are already a powerful manifester. You are already a master at manifesting. You already are source energy, your awareness. So, where are you putting your awareness? Where are you spending your vibrational awareness, your currency? You want to start to spend it on what you want instead of what you don't want. Because when you spend awareness on things that you don't want, those become reality. When you spend awareness on things that you do want, those become reality. And that's how you shift your reality. So get in the vortex now. See you.